Hey boys and girls, welcome to Art Recycled with Mrs. Hollemeyer. Today we are going to be doing letter art, and I bet you're thinking, I didn't know I could use letters to make art, but you can. And so boys and girls, we're going to be using your name today, and you can do this project with watercolors or markers, whatever you've got. So we are going to look at an artist, and his name is Jasper Johns. Jasper Johns is a very, very famous artist who got famous with his paintings of letters and numbers, as you can see here. So this project is based off of his work, boys and girls. So boys and girls, to get started, I've got my white paper here and I have my watercolor paints and my brush. Like I said though, you don't have to use watercolor paints if you prefer to use markers, that's okay too. So since I'm using watercolors, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a lot of water into all the colors I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna kind of go in color order today. I'm gonna start with red and then go to orange, yellow, green, blue, and so on and so on. I'm gonna start painting my name. And before I do that though, I'm actually gonna take my paper and I'm going to fold it in half so that it's going a long way here. And what that does is it just helps me to kind of get my letters the correct size. So I'm gonna do a row of letters above the fold, and I'm gonna do a row of letters below the fold. And my letters are gonna try to go from the top to bottom of that edge of the paper to the fold. So my first name is Kathy, so I'm gonna write a K. And I find it easier, boys and girls, to use all capital letters. Now I'm gonna space out my letters. I'm not gonna put them right next to each other. I'm gonna leave a little space, and you'll see why. We're gonna do those lines around our letters. Capital A comes next for my name. And this is really good fine motor practice for our K-2 kids in writing their name, and as you'll see, line tracking as we go around the letters. T. Now, boys and girls, I ran out of room. So you see, my name is Kathy, but I don't have room for the Y. So when I run out of room, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the next row. And again, I want my letters to try to go from the fold kind of to the edge of the paper, but I'm leaving a little bit more room between the letters. Now, I finished my name. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start my name again. So I start with the K. A. And when I run out of room, I run out of room. So now what I'm gonna do, boys and girls, is I'm going to take a color that is different than the letter. So this letter is red, so I don't want to use red. I'm going to use green. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace around the letter. And if you notice, when I do this, boys and girls, what I'm actually making is a block or a bubble letter. So now imagine what that would look like if I took the red K out. It would be a green bubble letter K. Maybe I'll go around the A with yellow. If you have an opening to your letter, boys and girls, like this A has a space in there, it's your choice of whether or not you want to fill that in with another color. If you do, oh, look at what happens. Because I'm using watercolor paint, it might bleed a little bit. That's okay. Go around the T with my purple. Now, boys and girls, once I've gotten around each letter once, I'm gonna keep doing this. Now, I'm gonna pick yellow here, but this time you're gonna see I'm gonna either run into another letter or I'm gonna run into the edge of the paper, and this is where it gets a little tricky. If you run into another letter, like I hit my Y there, you're gonna jump around that letter and keep going around the letter that you were tracing. So I was tracing around the K. When I hit the Y, I stopped, and I jumped around the Y to keep tracing around the K. And the same thing with the A here. I'm gonna start here. I'm not gonna run into the K. I'm gonna go around the A. When I hit the T, I jump around it. When I hit the K, I jump around it. Start going around my T. If I hit the H, I jump around it. When I hit the edge, I just stop. and then I just fill in the space with some extra lines there. And now my art project is finished. So boys and girls, I hope you liked this art project, and I hope you learned a little bit about letter art and Jasper Johns and bubble letters, and I will see you next time. Bye.